Congrats, you've officially spawned in Taisho-era Japan, where life is mid at best and nightmare fuel at worst. And not just any Taisho-era Japan though, one with nightly demon murder sprees. That's right, your spawn point is locked in survival horror mode, where bloodthirsty demons roam the countryside like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, and you're the main course. And the best part? No one's doing anything about it. The government's response to the demon epidemic? Oblivious at best, because most people don't even know demons exist unless directly affected. Imagine hearing blood-curdling screams outside your house and the official response is, must be the wind. Sir, that wind just disemboweled my neighbor. And as if that wasn't enough, your survival difficulty is based entirely on social class. Born into nobility? Congrats! You're playing on easy mode with walls, guards, and the privilege of pretending demons are an urban legend. Born as a farmer? You're cooked. You're basically playing real-life permadeath mode with nothing but a rickety wooden door and misplaced optimism. And who's protecting you from certain death? Oh, just a bunch of traumatized teenagers with swords. Imagine calling for help and a 14-year-old with PTSD and a katana shows up like, "Don't worry fam, I got this." That's the system. That's not even a joke, that's the system. And this is just the tutorial level. You haven't even met your first demon yet. The universe saw your fragile human existence and said, needs more suffering. You didn't choose the demon-infested life, the demon-infested life chose you, and trust me, it only gets worse from here. Your first encounter with pure nightmare fuel. So, you've just survived childhood without becoming a midnight snack. Congrats, but don't celebrate just yet, because this is where it all goes downhill. At some point, whether you live in a peaceful mountain home or a packed city district, your first demon encounter is inevitable, and it's gonna be sad. One moment life is normal, chilling with your family, maybe worrying about dinner. The next, your entire bloodline just got hard reset. Demons don't rob or knock, they break in, ruin your night, and turn your family into confetti. Lucky, you slept through it. Unlucky, you watched. But don't worry, you might get out alive, because demons love a little dramatic flair and sometimes they leave one survivor, for maximum trauma. If you do survive, congrats on your character development. You've just been gifted crippling trauma, free of charge, a tragic backstory, guaranteed to get you plot relevance, a deep, unshakable hatred for demons, because duh. At this point, you have three choices. Die, self-explanatory, survive as a civilian, hope someone stronger than you is around when things go south, cause as they say, you only have to be faster than the slowest runner, but maybe bears and demons are comparable. Join the Demon Slayer Corps, the worst workplace benefits package in history. And if you think option 3 sounds like the way to go, you might want to hold on because things are about to get so much worse. So, you picked option 3, join the Demon Slayer Corps. First of all, why? Sure, avenging your family sounds cool and all, but did you really think signing up for a teen death squad was the best move? You could have retired in the countryside, maybe taken up farming, but no, you volunteered for the worst job on the planet. And now, your suffering begins. You don't just grab a sword and start slashing demons like it's a hack and slash RPG, you have to train, and by train I mean suffer. First things first, you need a teacher, but not just any teacher, no, your mentor is required by law to have at least 3 of the following traits. A tragic backstory that makes yours look mid, severe emotional repression, a training regimen that absolutely should be illegal, a 50-50 chance of dying before you graduate. Congrats, you now have a father figure. Try not to get too attached, just trust me. Okay, so in this world, just breathing normally isn't good enough. No. You have to master total concentration breathing. What does that mean? No one fully knows, but if you don't figure it out, you're dead. So now you're running up mountains, dodging booby traps, and getting smacked around by your teacher until you unlock anime breathing powers. Once you've survived months or years of hell, it's time for your final test. Cut a boulder in half. That's right, a boulder, not a log, not a dummy, an actual giant rock. And if you can't do it, guess what? The demons will do it for you. Which leads us to the final selection, aka Demon Slayer Hunger Games. The rules are simple. Number 1, survive for 7 days on a mountain filled with bloodthirsty demons. Number 2, hope you're not one of the kids that get bodied immediately. Number 3, that's it, good luck. And if you do survive, congratulations, you're officially a Demon Slayer, and a life expectancy of maybe 5 years. Welcome to the pain train. Next stop, even more suffering. Okay, so now you're a Demon Slayer. That means you get a fancy uniform, a sword that may or may not like you, a talking bird, and a 95% chance of dying horribly within your first year. Your first few missions will teach you very important lessons like demons are stronger, faster, and don't care about your character development arc. And at some point, you'll watch a fellow rookie get ripped apart in front of you. You might even try to help. Spoiler, it won't matter. Eventually, you'll cross paths with a Hashira, aka the strongest demon slayers alive. They are insanely powerful, emotionally damaged, and one bad day away from an identity crisis. You'll either impress them, very unlikely, annoy them, very likely, get absolutely humbled in a training match, guaranteed. If you're really unlucky, you'll meet the Hashira because your mission went to hell, and now they have to step in to clean up your mess. Try not to get in their way. Now, what about solo missions, you say? Well, if you thought training was bad, welcome to the real nightmare. Your assignments will range from hunting a low-tier demon, probably fine, investigating a suspicious village, less fine, running into an upper moon way too early, not fine at all. At some point, you'll face a demon that outclasses you so hard that your life flashes before your eyes in 4K. If you don't miraculously unlock a power-up or get saved by a Hashira, well, hope you left a will. And remember your comrades from the final selection? Yeah, half of them are already dead. The Demon Slayer Corpse is basically a grief simulator, and the longer you survive, the more of your friends you'll have to bury. Hope you weren't too emotionally attached. Spoiler, you were. And just when you think you can't take any more suffering, you run into an upper moon on a mission, and it will be the worst day of your life or the last day of your life. These demons aren't like the fodder you've been fighting. They are faster than you, stronger than you, and almost impossible to kill. You'll give it everything you have, land what you think is a killing blow, and then they'll regenerate instantly and smile at you. That's when it hits. You were never meant to win this fight, and you're about to learn what true fear feels like. You still think this job was a good idea? Because it only gets worse from here. Yes, even more than this. And if you do survive long enough to get stronger, congrats. That means you've awakened a new cool ability. You might actually stand a chance in fights, and you're now on an even faster track to an early grave. Because in the Demon Slayer universe, the stronger you get, the worse your expiration date becomes. It all starts when you discover your breathing style. At first, it's exciting. Your sword turns air into fire or lightning. It's like a cheat code. Then reality hits. Because if your breathing style doesn't kill you, the Demon Slayer mark will. That's right, surviving long enough to unlock this exclusive Battle Pass perk comes with a fun little side effect, a hard cap on your lifespan. Once that mark appears, the clock starts ticking. Your lifespan shortens drastically, though how much time you have left is anyone's guess. And since most Slayers manifest the mark in their late teens, yeah, you're not making it past your 30s. You might think, well, at least I got a cool power-up. But the universe isn't done disrespecting you yet, because while you're literally burning through your own lifespan just to keep up with demons who don't age and aren't on a time limit, you've been training for years, pushing your body to the limit, surviving battles that should have killed you. Meanwhile, some upper moon just woke up from a 200-year nap feeling refreshed. It doesn't seem fair, does it? But hey, you signed up for this, and if somehow you survive long enough without getting folded in half by an upper moon, there's one last reward waiting for you. A promotion. And trust me, that's not a good thing. So now, after surviving impossible fights, unlocking ridiculous power-ups, and probably watched half your friends become demon food, you are Hashira material. That might sound like a flex, but let's be real, this is not the career path you wanted. Being a Hashira isn't some cushy promotion with better benefits. No. It's all the work with none of the amenities. So to qualify, you need to be stronger than almost every other player, ridiculously skilled with your breathing style, and unreasonably fast at killing demons. And as a reward, the same terrible pay, the same life expectancy, but now you're a priority target for the strongest demons in existence. From here, upper moons hunt you, not rookies, not weaklings, you. Nothing boosts a demon's ego like bagging a Hashira. But it gets worse, because the moment you reach this rank, you now have an even bigger responsibility, training the next generation of traumatized child soldiers. That's right, you've officially become the tired, overworked mentor you once feared. Your job now includes teaching rookies how to fight, watching those rookies get folded within months, bearing the crushing weight of their deaths. And just in case you thought retirement was an option, it's not. There's no Hashira retirement plan. You fight until you die, end of story. But hey, look on the bright side. You've made it to the peak of the Demon Slayer Corpse. The view up here, terrible. And with the way things are going in the current timeline, it's about to get a whole lot worse. Okay, so rewind. What if you took one look at the Demon Slayer life expectancy stats and thought, Yeah, no thanks. Or maybe you never had a choice, because let's be real, most people don't become demons willingly. You don't wake up one morning and decide, you know what, cannibalism sounds kind of fire. No, it usually goes like this. You get mortally wounded, a demon, probably Muzan, shows up with a cure, and you either accept or die. If you do accept, congrats, you're now stronger than ever, functionally immortal, and legally required to listen to Muzan's monologues. Oh, what's this? Oh, no, nothing. Just the small fine print that says that you also have to eat people now, follow Muzan's every command, and never see sunlight again. Hope you weren't attached to the morality of the outdoors. Anyways, the transformation process isn't exactly fun either. Some demons mutate instantly, ripping through their old bodies like a grotesque Pokemon evolution. Others endure hours of excruciating mutation. It's a gamble whether the process is instant or agonizing. Either way, Muzan is now your boss, and he's the worst manager in history. First rule, do whatever he says. Second rule, if you disobey, you explode. Third rule, there are no other rules, just don't disappoint Daddy Muzan. Welcome to Muzan's multi-level marketing scheme of horror. As a fresh demon, you're basically cannon fodder. You have no fancy powers yet, and while you're stronger than the average human, you're still no match for a skilled demon slayer, even with no fancy breathing technique. But if you survive long enough and eat enough humans, you might unlock a blood demon art, your special ability. Some demons get cool powers, like manipulating ice or warping reality. Others get stuck with weirdly specific body horrors. Imagine rolling the dice and getting infinite exploding eyeballs as your superpower. If you're strong enough, you might get promoted to Lower Moon status, but Lower Moons exist for one purpose: to serve Muzan until their first major mistake, at which point he kills them without hesitation. Survive that, and you might reach Upper Moon status, but that's a different beast entirely. Upper Moons are unreasonably strong, practically unkillable, and still somehow terrified of Muzan. They spend centuries flexing their powers, slaughtering demon slayers, and occasionally backstabbing each other. It's basically a high-stakes reality show with extra murder. But for all that power, you're still just a glorified henchman. Muzan doesn't care about you, he only cares about himself. You're replaceable just like every other demon before you, and when the war against the demon slayer starts heating up, you're going to learn the hard way. So, you made your choice. You're a demon now. No more worrying about sunburns, taxes, or getting folded by a demon in the woods. You've got crazy regeneration, a blood demon art that may or may not be cool, and the best part, you don't age. But here's a catch. See, you joined the demons at the worst possible time. You thought this was going to be an eternity of feasting and chilling in the shadows? Nah, you showed up just in time for the biggest war in demon history. And guess what? You're on the losing team. The Upper Moons, who were once untouchable, are starting to fall. Gyutaro didn't even get to finish his meal. The rest, let's just say their untouchable streak might not last forever. Muzan sent them out thinking they'd wipe the floor with the demon slayers, and instead, they've been getting clapped one by one. And now, Muzan is pissed. The boss himself is finally stepping in, and if you've spent any time in the demon ranks, you know that's bad news for everyone. Not just for the slayers, but for you too. Because here's the thing, Muzan doesn't do trust. If the Upper Moons can fall, that means no one is safe. And when Muzan starts losing, he doesn't look at himself and think, maybe I should reflect on my own actions. No, he's side-eyeing you as if you're the reason. And now, every demon left is stuck in survival mode. Not just against the Hashira and their overpowered breathing techniques, but against Muzan himself. He started purging anyone he finds useless, weak, or just mildly annoying. If you so much as breathe the wrong way, you might find yourself getting turned into a pile of blood and regret. So, let's recap. You joined the demons to escape death. Now you're in a war you can't run from, fighting immortal superpowered teenagers, and your own boss is more likely to kill you than your actual enemies. Great career move, really thought this one through. And the worst part, the war is coming to an end. One way or another, Muzan's empire is crumbling, and when the dust settles, there's only one question left. What happens to you? Because if the demon slayers win, there's no retirement plan for demons. There's no, well, you weren't that bad, so we'll let you live. No, it's eradication. And if Muzan wins, well, his vision of the future remains unclear, but it's safe to say humanity's survival would be questionable at best. And let's be real, would you survive his mood swings long enough to enjoy the benefits? So, let's take a step back and look at the big picture for a second. You were born into Taisho-era Japan, which already sucked. Then, you had two options. Become a demon slayer, meaning you'd spend your short, miserable life fighting immortal monsters, watching your friends drop like flies, and dying before you hit 30. Becoming a demon, meaning you'd gain power and immortality, but in exchange you'd lose your humanity, your free will, and probably die anyway, either at the hands of demon slayers or Muzan's workplace policies. Either way, you were screwed from the start. If you became a demon slayer, you were just a pawn in a war you could never truly win. The corpse never had a retirement plan, because no one lived long enough to need one. The only way out was death. If you became a demon, you were just Muzan's disposable attack dog. Sure, you could regenerate, but that only delayed the inevitable, and when the war reached its peak, you were either a casualty or a liability. No matter what you choose, the cycle of suffering never ended. And even if you were some random civilian, you weren't safe. You either lived in fear, lost everyone you loved to demons, or got caught in the crossfire of a war you had no part in. Being born here wasn't bad luck, it was a death sentence. So next time you complain about your boring demon-free existence, just remember, it could be worse. You could have been born in Demon Slayer.